Landry's time here with us was short, but the memories we have that he left us are enough to last us throughout each of our lifetimes. We fought, we disagreed, I did things he didn't like, and he did things that I didn't like, but never once did a personal feud have a negative impact on our relationship, but only made it stronger. Landry did many things to test you as a friend. I believe he was put on this planet to teach people about true friendship, just how important it is and how dangerous and difficult it can be to attain. True friends aren't there for you when you're on top of your game. They are there by your side when you're at the lowest of lows, like he was for me and the rest of his teammates when seasons were cut short. He stayed with us, believed in us, provided motivation for us to come back stronger when we were all alone, injured, and feeling unable to be part of the team. Landry was the definition of a true teammate, but Landry didn't leave that persona between the lines where he competed. He took those qualities and applied them to everyday life. Everyone looked up to Landry. He was our big brother and mentor. He coined several nicknames given to many in elementary school that still stay with us today. He was the alpha male of our pack. He took us under his wing and taught us through bad times and good what was right and what was wrong. He was willing to sacrifice himself for the good of others, which is something not many are able to reciprocate. He provided for us when we couldn't, never hesitated to stand up for us when we were picked on, and he never let anything get in the way of the unconditional love he had for each and every one of us. I can't thank Landry enough for the impact he had on me through all the wisdom he shared. I can honestly say, and I'm sure most of you here hold this in common with me, that I would not be who I am today if it were not for my friendship with Landry Chance Clark. All the success that I ever achieved in my life will be credited to Landry for the sacrifice and price he paid for us while he was here with us. Those that don't really know him thought of him as a bad influence or maybe as a problem child who was always around trouble. But no, do not listen to these words because they would be wrong. Landry's time here was short for a reason. He was put here on a mission from the Lord above to guard us from trouble, to take in all our pain and put it upon his shoulders, to sacrifice himself and see to it that we make it through our youth unscathed and prepared for the world ahead. From the looks of this congregation here today, I'd say he accomplished his mission. Look around. Look at the community he helped build. Thank him, honor him, and above all, love him. Save me a seat, my brother, because one day I'm going to wake up where you are, and we're going to have a lot to catch up on. But until then, I'll use the memories you gave me to get through life, memories that always put a smile on our faces. From the times we spent together during the holidays in college to the times we shared during high school and middle school, and especially the moment when I first met Landry Clark, a second grader at Eanes Elementary, quiet, alone, and for the only time in his life, unpopular. Just trying to fit in and be accepted by his new peers, which didn't take long. This is by far the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but only a small price to pay compared to what you've done for me. I love you, Landry, and will always remember you. Rest in peace. You deserve it.
My name is Lily Morgan, and Landry Clark was my friend. That really doesn't describe it, though. I loved him. I loved him unconditionally. I trusted him, and I relied on him. He was there for me when my parents divorced and when my brother died. He listened to me, and he talked to me. We really shared in the way that true friends do. He will be a part of me for forever. I want you to know the Landry that I know. Landry was confident. The first time I met him, I was 10 years old at Hill Country Hello. Landry had a locker next to my boyfriend's locker. He saw me writing down my boyfriend's locker number and immediately became convinced I wanted his locker number. He decided I was stalking him. He would never believe that I was writing down my boyfriend's locker number. It was just so Landry. I mean, he teased me about being obsessed with him the rest of his life. A life that was entirely too short. Landry was passionate. He was one of the most passionate people I've ever met. He was passionate about everything. His friends, his family, his sports, his love for everyone. His passion was contagious and magnetic. It made people want to follow him. Landry was brave. He was never scared, even when maybe in retrospect he should have been. My first year in college, Landry, Courtney Roach, and I were in a really bad car accident. Landry was driving. The police officer told us that if Landry hadn't swerved, we would have been killed. I know that it was Landry's fearlessness that gave him the presence to make the right decision. I want you to know that he was strong. He had a lot of struggles, but that was not what made Landry who he was. What made Landry who he was the strength that he showed in the face of those struggles. He never let his problems change his vision of what his life would be or what he would accomplish. Landry was smart. I know he had problems in school, but I never really understood why. In 8th grade, I tutored him. He showed up at my house and knew the answer to every question that I asked him. I teased him that he studied before, but he swore that he didn't. He always knew everything. He had plans for himself, and he was smart enough to accomplish them. Landry was loyal. He always had your back. You could absolutely count on him to take up for you or to be there for you. He may have been the baby of his family, but to a lot of us, he was a big brother. Finally, Landry was a teddy bear. He loved hugs. He loved to snuggle. He loved to be tickled. He was so sweet. He always said, "I love you," with that special Landry smile. Not long before he passed, he joined the Army, and in the true persistent, strong, and passionate Landry way, he joined the Special Forces, the front line. He told me just a few weeks ago when he was visiting me in New York that he really wanted to fight for our country, that he wanted to be an American soldier. Landry lived his whole life on the front line. So how do you say goodbye to somebody who knew everything about you and who loved you? Someone who shared your best and worst times and even saved your life? Well, I can tell you, his family, that I'll be there for you, just like y'all have been there for me, just like Landry would be. And I can tell you, his friends, that we will be there together. And I can tell you, Landry, I'll always remember you and I'll always love you forever.